my gosh. Hi, guys. I'm so sorry I got caught up in makeup. Totally caught up in makeup. So, I'm going to be doing a reading for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, also for your cross watchers, also for people who find themselves on this video with no Pisces in their chart, no Pisces that they're dealing with, but resonating so hardcore. So, these messages are pretty much universal, although I'm focusing in the title on Pisces. These messages are universal. Okay. So for the people who are asking, why am I only doing Pisces? Well, if you're not resonating with Pisces, I don't have a message for you. Just kind of simple. That's simple. um, all right. I asked the energies what this reading is going to be about. And I was asked, can you feel the shifting? So there's a lot of shifting taking place within ourselves, within our circles, within our environment. There's just a lot of shifting taking place. And if you're so focused on the negative things that you've been experiencing, because I think pretty much all of us have experiencing some negativity, like negative interactions, negative circumstance, negative connections, all of these wonderful negative things that are really trying to usher us into a more cognitively chosen, like consciously chosen, um, healthier space to occupy. Oh, it's right here. Derp. I'm really loving these cards. I've had them for I want to say maybe a year now, but I've only begun using them a couple days ago. Sometimes it takes me a while to bond with the cards, you know? I don't do you guys if you read cards, do you feel like you have to bond with them first you can before you can use them? I think there are times where the imagery in the cards oh my god. Nothing. 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 Let me just finish pulling cards. But yeah, sometimes the imagery in the cards will low key, very subconsciously trigger me. I don't like to remember previous lives. It's a very intense for me. If I remember details of previous lives, it becomes very intense because most of my lives were very intense. And so sometimes when the cards have visuals that make it difficult for me to continue ignoring a previous life, I'll just avoid the whole deck. It's the truth. That's how I cope. I'll just avoid the entire deck. I'm not even ashamed to admit that. You don't do tarot? You don't have to do tarot. I avoided tarot for many, many years. Many, many years. These fires are still like really messing up my breathing. Like really messing up my breathing. And then this final deck. All right. I'm having a lot of sinus discharge. I don't have a cold. It's a reaction to the outside, the air outside. Because then all of that, like debris, smoke, it goes into my sinuses before it goes into my lungs. So for me, they're both like, they're very connected. Okay, I'm ready now. I'm ready. Yes, I'm ready to learn. Oops. Oh. All right, guys. And then this deck. I'm really loving this deck. All right, put that there. All right. Card number 23. Defend to the end the worthwhile. Again, this is a message that you are worthwhile. You are worth the fight. You are worth the effort. You are worth that major leap of faith that someone who wants to be a part of your journey in your life needs to take in order to share space with you. And that's the thing. It's like, as empaths, we're very much taught to feel guilt if we are not traveling the entire distance, the distance in the discrepancy between our energy, our thoughts, where we are in our life, and someone else's. So you really have to make sure that you understand you are worth that period of discomfort that someone might experience trying to get to know you, trying to work up the courage to connect. Trying to work up the courage to connect with you. And it's not because this this is what Michael's telling me to tell you guys. It's not for a lack of courage. It's not for a reason of weakness or lack of interest. For some of you, you really are that epitome of what that person wants and needs in their life. So it's taking them a little bit to work up this courage because I mean, for some of you, they've already placed you on a pedestal. Like no one is going to come dethrone you from that. The pedestal is so high that it's taking them a moment to climb, to climb the pedestal. Is that your fault? Do you have to feel bad? Is it something that you consciously did to make them feel that way? Because I know for some of you, you're gonna be like, oh my God, I feel so bad. Like I don't want them to feel like they're not enough. That's what they did on their own. You didn't do that. You simply existed. You simply existed, and in that existence, they began to create a story about you for themselves. So this is the story they're telling themselves about you. All of their insecurities are being brought up not because of anything you're doing, but because they are recognizing there's some sort of resonance between the two of you where they can very clearly see with their mind and their heart that you are a reflection of a greatness within them that they are still too afraid to accept, to embrace. Because really, what are people outside of us? Nothing but reflections of what's going on inside of us. Okay. So, moderation. Uh, I thought this reading was going to be about like personal, spiritual growth. How did this become about some person outside of you? I think I've been bamboozled again. Moderation. Now, you have to take in moderation their like love of you, their love of your presence. Like you might not realize this, but they get overwhelmed by you. Okay, without you doing anything, just by you existing. I remember when I first started dating my husband, um, this fool, because we were very young. We were young. Um, I would feel weird because I can feel when people are staring at me, and I would look over and this fool is driving, staring at me. I'm like, "What are you doing? That's weird. Stop." And he'd just be like, "Oh, oh." And then he would like face forward again. And then he would do it again a few minutes later. So sometimes you have to just kind of accept that something about you makes them feel enamored. Something about you kind of just short circuits their logic. And once that happens and they become aware of that, sometimes it becomes very scary for them. If the person that's coming to mind, when I'm talking about this, if the person that comes to mind is someone who has very deeply hidden, deeply rooted insecurities. This is going to be very hard for them. This whole thing is going to be very, very hard for them. There's a very high likelihood they will consider or possibly choose to run from you. Let them keep running. I mean, maybe they need exercise. I don't know. I don't run. So y'all can run all you want. Card number 15, a devotee offering his gift of song. Your skills are the gifts you can share with others. So your presence is changing their heart song. All of us have a song within our heart that is sang in silence. And Michael said something about a duet. Yeah. So I guess the two of you, your hearts are singing to each other. See that song coming out, overflowing. For some, it would create a lot of pleasure. For others, it would create um, such a period of cognitive dissonance. Again, if you represent healing on a deep level without even intending to, and this is what they're feeling from you, um, if they identify as the wound, then there's a potentiality that your presence in their life can be interpreted as uh, potentially destroying them. Okay. Because when you heal the wound no longer exists. And if they identify as the wound, then that means they, as they know themselves to be, no longer exists. So, card number 27, resilience. Burn away the past. Oh. I'm sorry, I just snorted. I just grossed myself out. So it looks like there is a major log of contention. There are certain things that you do not want to talk about, think about, you just don't want to, and you've created a you've created a way to block that out. And I mean, all of these walls that you've set up for yourself to keep you separate from whatever this learning cycle is, whatever this connection is, this being burned down. And here you go, your team, your spiritual team is trying to break through that shell of like avoidance and ignorance. Yes, I'm blocking out Michael. I don't want to hear what he's saying. He's talking to me. It's not for you guys. Four of Spring. Be grateful. You have much to celebrate. Deep feelings of peace and happiness, a contented personal life. hmm Some of it's some of us don't want to celebrate though. Some of us are so are have become so complacent. This place of discomfort, it's become home. This place of like feeling in limbo, it's kind of become home for us, and we don't want to leave that space. So look at these two happy elves, this fairy elves dancing, whatever they are, a fairy and an elf, different species. Oh, different races, says Michael. Card number 40, Sacred Fool. You are not playing the fool for anyone. You just aren't. You aren't playing the fool for anyone. And this preconceived notion you have that, oh, I'm not going to play the fool for them. I'm not going to play the fool for them. Well, really, the only one you're playing the fool for is yourself. That's your higher self pulling the strings. That's not anyone else. Okay. This is your human mind. This is your higher self. Your higher self has been in control this entire time. Your perception is what's causing you to believe that something outside of you is what's controlling everything, when in reality, it's nothing outside of you. It is you. Your avoidance of your own process is what is causing a lack of pleasure. Okay. Okay. Card number 23, Medicine Buddha. The lapis lazuli healer king. Sometimes it's good to seek help from others. Okay. So sometimes it's good to seek help from others. Sometimes you have to allow yourself to recognize some partnership with someone else, someone outside of you, not just a partnership between yourself and your soul, but a partnership with another person. Um, Partnership does not equate to romantic connection. Let's remove sex from all of these messages, okay? Um, there is a pairing needing to happen, this coming together, working together, allowing yourself to rise above your perception that has been distorted due to the helmet of avoidance that you have placed on your head. The distortions that are within your perception are because of that attempt to avoid and blind yourself. So, card number 3, detox, cleanse and restore yourself. Get to a place where you are healthy enough spiritually, energetically, mentally, emotionally, where you are healthy enough to be able to remove the helmet and just kind of observe your life as it is. Okay. Um, Card number 19, balance. Your soul is trying to reestablish a sense of balance that you might not even be aware of. If you have been existing in a very distorted frame of mind, I mean, okay. So, if you have your hands out like this and you have books in your hands and you're supposed to balance these books, hold them up and balance them. If one arm is weaker than the other arm, this is going to be your balance. Is that balanced? Maybe in your head you feel like it's balanced, but it's not. Your perception is distorted because of imbalance. Muscular imbalance, imbalance internally because of rejection of either your masculine or your feminine energy. I mean, there's so many different reasons that each of us would experience internal imbalance. And it's really not for me to tell you where the imbalance is. It's for me to share with you messages of your soul, these messages of, hey, there's certain things you need to take a look at within yourself, and to give you the freedom and the space to discover that on your own terms at your own time. Okay. But just know that you've been clouding your ability to see. This cloudiness is connected to you identifying the entirety of you with phases of your development. These aspects of your identity that you are identifying as, that's not you, that's just a fraction of who you are. I was having a conversation recently with a really good friend, and I was I asked him if he remembers when we first met, he was afraid that I was going to kill him. He told me this. He was like, "I really considered, like, you would be alone with me in my house, you could totally murder me." I mean, it was me and my husband were there, and he told us that, and I was like, "What?" And the thing was, I told him, like, "I love you so much because you were afraid and you thought there was a possibility of me harming you, like, grievously harming you, yet you still trusted me enough to meet me." That's huge to me. That's huge. And, it's one of these things where if you allow yourself to just go beyond your identifying as certain phases of your development, you then begin to enter into a place of totality. Um, this friend of mine really has helped give a lot of clarity in a very gentle way, for me and my journey. They're not someone who preaches anything to me. Just by little interactions like that, it's beautiful. It's beautiful to be able to connect with people at such a vulnerable place, because he was in a very, very vulnerable place. And I was at that period when we met. um I wasn't just in a vulnerable place. I was full on destroyed. I was destroyed within myself, outside of myself. I full on depression. Oh, wow. And he's talked about this before, so I have no problem. I know he would have no problem with me sharing this. He was in the middle of addiction, a struggle, major struggle with addiction. Mm. How powerful is that? That two of the most broken stereotypes of the human consciousness are able to come together and provide healing for each other, even in a fractioned, broken, just destructive, broken, all of those things. We were mirroring that in different ways, yet we were still both able in our fractionated state to provide enough light for the other to find their own path. That's deep. That's deep. So, 5 of autumn, reach out to others for assistance, poor timing for a career change, feeling challenged by money issues. So, reach out to others for assistance. You have to have enough faith in yourself that reaching out to others is not dangerous. Now, you have to use your discernment. You have to be able to be honest with yourself about, like, this person is not someone I can trust, instead of like, oh, I need to just trust everybody. I did that 1 year and it fucked me up for 18 months. There is nothing wrong with having a hard time trusting people, because you shouldn't just trust everybody. They have to earn that trust. This is about recognizing the people who have earned your trust. They are safe for you to ask for help, ask help for. Poor timing for a career change. Career change, this to me speaks more of soul purpose. Now is not the time for you to try and redefine what your purpose is. Now is a time for you to find out what your purpose is in accordance to what your soul is trying to tell you. Okay. And then feeling challenged by money issues. To me, that talks about energy, because money is currency, currency is energy. Card number 16, what you want wants you. Fucking Michael. We don't have time for this. Circling back to the very beginning of this reading when I got bamboozled. For those who feel this reading is about a connection with someone else, is about some sort of romantic, well, yada, yada, yada. They want you. You want them. They want you. Do with that as you will. Do with that as you will. So, card number 8, you know, yeah, everything in perfect balance. So, what you want wants you. Balance, balance. This recognition of you are calling to you or pushing away the very things you are deciding to do. Um, you're responsible for your own journey. Okay. So, say, excuse me, say on a conscious level, you believe you really, 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 really want him, but keeps getting pushed away. Well, maybe because you don't really want him. You want what his presence represents for you. Maybe what that person is bringing to your attention is what you want, but it's not the person that you're going to have that with. It's identifying the messenger as the message. You have to rewind that and take it all back and look for what the message is. For some of us, this means that you have the message and the messenger, they are one and the same. For others of us, no, baby, that's just the messenger. Take your message and keep moving forward. Everything in perfect balance. Everything. So, Mhm. Put that there. Put that there. Prince of Spirits. He's riding a fucking bunny. Charming, self-confident, passionate, restless. Immediate action, a challenge you can successfully manage, a passionate relationship. Look at that. He's riding a bunny. Okay, what do you want me to say, Michael? What do you want me to say? Oh, for some of you guys, I'm sorry. I'm having an argument with him. For some of you guys who are runners, this individual, whoever this is that you're thinking of, if they can't run as fast as you, they definitely have been given the green light to ride on you. They're going there with you. Wherever it is you're going within yourself, outside of yourself, they are going there too. Okay. This is something you're not going to outrun this. You're not going to be able to hide from this. This, you connected. For some of you. For some of you. Card number 12, boundaries. Are you working on boundaries? Or are you using the excuse of boundaries to create separation that is not healthy? Which one is it? Are you working on boundaries, or are you trying to establish and maintain unhealthy separation? Because again, it goes back to this topic of, are you identifying as your wound, and the other individual presents you with an opportunity to heal, like actually heal those wounds? And it could be you that's experiencing this, or it could be them that's experiencing this. I'm just gonna mind my own business, is what it is. Card number 50. What the fuck are they doing? Oh my god. I need tea. I don't need water. All right. Primordial Buddha. Vajradhara. Brilliant sky, illuminating sun. The entire universe manifests out of awareness. Mhm. That is one hell of a way to depict awareness. I'm just saying. There is just there is some writing going on. It reminds me of this thing that one of my friends showed me. It was a screenshot of a text between a grandma and her grandchild. And the grandma sends the grandchild a picture of her sitting on a tree that's been cut down. And it's kind of like, so she's sitting on the tree, like straddled the tree. And she sends that picture along with this message of, that's not the only thing I'm going to be writing tonight. And the grandchild says, Grandma. And then the grandma was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I thought I was sending this to grandpa. And was like, I meant that I was going to write grandpa tonight too. I don't know. Perspective. You have to have perspective. Oh my God, you guys. Perception, and perspective. Are you really allowing yourself to kind of pull back and see the larger picture? Or are you so zoomed in that it's kind of just all about you? You know what I mean? Where you're not taking into consideration the other factors that the other person, oh, this all has to do with you. Oh, well, either you or the other person. This is all one person that is experiencing this distortion in perception. It's from the same deck. Perspective and perception. It's from the same deck. So it's one person that is experiencing this. I have a few minutes. Let's do a speed pull for this one. All right. Okay. Card number 28, reminder. Ooh. Shit. Okay. So you'll receive a reminder through vision about belonging, about love. This love is like home to you, a dark house, house of the night. This means this is something that's hidden. This is a love that's hidden. It's etched in stone. So that means this has existed for a very, very, very long time. This comes before this life. This love existed before you came into this life. Yeah. I'm having a really hard time with this shit. Seriously. I think this is some bullshit ass message. Okay. Michael says just read it. This is a reminder to help you not forget through showing you things, either in the darkness of your thoughts or the hidden aspects of yourself, that you belong to something that existed way before this life even started. Okay. So you're being reminded to have obedience to your own process. You're not being asked to be obedient to anyone else, because fuck that shit. Okay. I'm not here to be obedient to anyone. You're being asked to be obedient to your own process. And it's like you've forbidden yourself from opening the door to your dark house. Which stems from this thing that has existed. It's as old as the rocks. Oh my God. I just found, I want to show you guys. Hold on. I got to show this to you guys and then I got to go. This was in my backyard. Here. No, I didn't want to view that. So we were driving our go-karts and the mini bike and we're going crazy in the backyard, and then my child, who had asked me to drive him, said that I was out of control again, and then he asked me to stop. So I stopped the car and I looked out and I happened to see on the ground, do you see the black heart? It was a red rock with a black heart in it. So that was amazing. But yeah, exactly, Benjamin. Fuck that shit. Keep your damn rocks. Okay, one final message. One final message. All right, guys. Ooh. So we have the bamboo moon. With this, I'm not even going to read the book. Bamboo has the essence of protection, of warrior energy. This is what's hidden within you, okay? You are intrinsically protected. There's nothing outside of you that's going to happen to you that hasn't been agreed to by your soul. And this is, again, not about blaming. This is not about spiritual bypassing where you don't hold people accountable for their behaviors. This is about recognizing you don't have to fear your journey. You are protected. You come from a warrior type of energy. You can handle your life. Does she look afraid? No, she doesn't. She's over there straddling the moon, looking like a little hottie. Okay, so be the hottie that you are, straddle your moon, and keep going. Just keep going. I gotta go. I will see you guys again later. I think I'm gonna try and do a Blu-ray update. We shall see. We shall see. So please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. Join me every single time I'm live. I'll see you guys again very soon. Bye.